Good evening, everyone. Welcome to GDS Season Talk, brought to you by by myself, JT, and Bulldozer, and Superhub. How you going, bro? You good?
Yeah, mate. Good, thanks.
Yep. And how are you finding the preseason leading into? We've only got 10 days to go until it all kicks off in Vegas.
Oh, mate, it can't come quick enough. I'm absolutely itching, and this new game's got me really excited as well. Get to pick a full team every week. I can't wait. Can't come quick enough.
Excellent, man. No, I'm the same. As soon as the NFL season finishes, Super Bowl's done, it's starting to NRL for me, and I just can't wait to hopefully see my Mighty Red V make the top 8 for the first time in countless years. So we'll just see how that goes.
Yeah, I think.
But anyways,
I think we'll write them off.
I don't know, mate. The halves pairing for my boys, new spine, a few old heads coming into the squad. Yeah, it's great coach. I like Flanagan. He should have been the appointment 3-4 years ago, but hopefully we're on the right way to give a good rebuild now.
Yeah.
And how about your boys? How are they shaping up?
Oh, look, I think the Raiders are a few years away from anything yet. We've got a few good spine coming through, but they're all just too young. Strange, Sanders, they'll be good in a couple of years. They just need the experience. We've got the pack. They always got the pack, but yeah, same thing. The halves will probably let us down.
Yeah, it's a bit like my boys, just that spine. It's needs a little bit of maturity, and we might be fighting at the just to get in the 8, or we might just both miss out. We'll see. But anyway, tonight, guys, we're just going to go over a little bit about what GDS is, why it's different to different platforms, and just go through a bit of general player stuff of who we're a bit high on this year, who we might be a bit cold on, and just some general housekeeping of what it's about, and to see why we all come to love playing GameDay Squad. So, firstly, GameDay Squad is a dynasty platform of fantasy sports. They've got the rugby league page where you can actually play in 4 different competitions. They are starter, classic, challenger, and champion. There are different rarity cards from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and 1-of-1 legends, as well as some special cards. All of these different cards have got different multipliers on them, depending on which card they are at. And if you'd like to find out more about that, please leave it in the comments of this video, and one of us will happily give you more information on it, or you can head across to gds.com.au. Moving on to you there, Dozer. What have you found so good about GDS to begin with, and why did you decide to give it a try?
Oh, what got me across is the Dynasty series. So you don't have to start a new team every year. What cards you get this year, you'll be able to use them next year and the year after that. So I think that's a great aspect, as well as every week. How many times have you sat there playing fantasy on, oh, wouldn't I love to have 10 trades this week to bring in Ponga and bring in Bradman Best? But with this game, you can do that. You can do 17, 18 trades in a week, and I think I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, and the rolling lockout is a huge thing. So, and that's one thing I'd like to bring up, actually. We were talking earlier pre-recording, and I don't think you're aware of this. Where there's 18 players that you can start, 1 hooker, 3 mid, 2 edge, 2 halves, 2 centre, 2 wing, and 1 fullback. You've got a bench of 2 forward spots. You've got 1 half spot and 2 back spots. If not all of those 18 positions are filled, it did not qualify for the round. They all need to be filled for you to qualify for that round. And also with that is you can do rolling lockout. So if your player hasn't kicked off, you're the first game on Thursday, you can trade the players that are playing on the Friday out for Sunday players, or whichever way you want to do it. But as long as that team is full, you're good to go for that week.
Do you want to add anything else to that, Matt? Before that first game, the whole team's got to be full. You can change them after. You've just got to make sure they're full. I've heard that can get a few people come unstuck on that.
Yeah. So, yeah, just wanted to mention that. So I'll hand it over to you for a little bit there, Dozer. Is there anything that you would like to start with, mate?
Yeah, well, so you got every single, like you said, every player's got a ranking, so you can play them in different rankings for different points. How would you value each position? What would you say? Would you want to use your higher ranked cards in the salary cap aspect?
Well, it's very similar to other fantasy platforms in a way. We do like our high scoring players in with high ceilings, like the likes of Cleary, Ponga, Latrell, Hines, depending on the situation, obviously, Haas, Yo, Grant. But out of all those positions that we have, is I usually like to look at half and fullback as my higher ranked players of that round, just because they, well, at the fullback, they get so many more attacking stats. They've got their hands on the ball. Same with the halves, and usually the goal kicker from that team might be coming from one of those two positions. Yes, there might be a winger or a centre that might do the kicking, but generally it's one of the halves. And in GameDay Squad, you get a full 3 points for every goal kicked, which is quite different to other platforms out there. So let's say Penrith, they end up putting 50 on somebody. Cleary might score, say, 30 points through the boot, possibly. So that's, yeah, that's just a big one of why I like halves as well. Secondly, after those two positions, middle forwards, because they're steady eddies. You've got Haas, you've got Yo. May for the season, I believe, is going to have a huge year over at the Tigers. Then I've got edge forwards after that, just because they're in the action a lot more than the other positions, which I'm going to bring up shortly. And they tend to be a bit more boom or bust edge forwards, but a little bit more consistent than the likes of wing and centre, where I've got ranked at 5 and 6, depending on who they're playing against that week or what the conditions are. So you might have some mismatches. So the Tigers were woeful last year. Here's a great example. We saw quite a few points scored against them. It might be quite nice picking a centre or a winger in that sort of matchup, even if it might not be one of the top averaging players that week. It might just be a centre forget play against the West Tigers. It may have been last year. Who knows what that team might be this year. And lastly, I've got hooker. The main reason for that is hookers don't seem to score as well as in maybe a super coach or an NRL fantasy. In GameDay Squad, there is -3 points for a missed tackle. So you have the example of Reid Marnie that might miss anywhere between 5 to 10, maybe even more tackles in a game. Who knows? And that is -30 points in demerits, and that can really pull down the hooker's score. And generally, they are the lowest averaging position at the top end. So you do have your likes of your Grant and your Cook that might outscore the centre or winger on a week, but they don't seem to have as much boom potential as what are a couple of examples that you might think of, man, for centre and wing that you would like as boom players?
Oh, I wouldn't mind as ball players.
Yeah,
Did you say sorry?
just as going boom, like score 100 on any given week.
Oh, your goal kickers. I like your Herbie. He's got the base. Yeah, he can just bust out points left, right, and centre. I feel.
Yeah, I also think Cobbo could do on that round. He might get 3 or 4 tries. Here's a good example. Asako, here's a goal kicker. And we've got Garrick. There are a couple more that I might prefer playing a higher rarity of card over on a Cook or a Grant. So they're the sort of position rankings I've got of where I like to spend my cap. And it really depends on a lot of situations, obviously, any given week. But there's no rule of thumb for this, but it's just a preference thing. And that's really, really what I sort of lean to when setting up my team every week.
Right, so you'd rather take the gamble with a Garrick or a Holmes and hope they go big rather than just the safety score?
Well, it depends on the rarity. I'm not saying I'm not going to have them in my team, but when it comes to the rarities, how they work is you've got a bronze that's worth what it is. So a player might score 100. The silver card that you might play is a multiplier of 1.1. So you'd get 110 points for that player. A gold would be 1.2 for 120 points. Platinum 1.3, diamond 1.4, and legend 1.5. So I'm not saying I'm not going to play those players in my team. I'll just change the rarity between those players if I had them in my squad of where I play them.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
So
just on that legend, so the legend, just so I say that, there's one card. I thought that was a great thing, and I got a legend in my third pack. So I got Ryan Maddow.
hey.
You get one of one legend card.
And
So,
how long you been playing? How long you been playing, man?
oh, about 3 weeks, and yeah, some people haven't got a legend in a couple of years. So,
No, exactly. That's what. So yeah, that's a great pack, man.
yeah, but I do think each card there is only a certain amount of that ranking. We haven't come across that yet. So there's only
Yes.
100. A diamond clear goes for like $500, like
Yeah.
proper money. It's crazy the
Yeah.
money. It's just you go through the store, and it's just it's crazy.
So that's something we didn't touch on before. GameDay Squad is free to play as you've got the different competitions. However, you do have the option where you can go to the transfer market, you can purchase cards, you can trade cards with other coaches, and you can do multiple player trades. So let's just say you had a Diamond Cleary, you might be able to trade away, get back in return a Diamond Haas, a Diamond Hines, a Diamond Latrell, for example, 3-for-1 trade. You can also sell them for real cash. And you do have the option to purchase packs as well of different rarity types. So you can get a common pack, which is silver and above. You can get a rare pack, which is gold and above. And you've got a unique pack, which is platinum and above. So when you purchase a a unique pack, for example, that is the worst case card you're going to get is a 1.3 multiplier to go towards your squad. So, and it's just lucky dip of who these cards are going to be. I've seen 2 Legend pack being packed in one pack before, and like Dozer just said, it's third pack he ever opened was a Legend, which is the only player of that card, which is at a 1.5 multiplier. So that 100 points for that player would be 150 points if he was in your squad that week.
And that no one else would be able to score that, which is I think is a great thing as well.
Yeah. So it's got quite a few unique aspects to it. So, and that's why, me personally, this will be my third or fourth season playing GameDay Squad. So yeah.
Where do you rank it in terms of fantasies?
In fantasies,
Like your super coach and your fantasy. You said your earlier off thing you'd played like your NFL fantasy and that.
Yeah, I think it's the one I spend the most time on year round. I'm not going to lie. Even in the off season, this is what it is. It's a dynasty platform, man. You can go and find. It might be the end of the season, and you might see some coaches be like, they might just be sick and tired of this one player, and he might just put it on he or she might put it on the trade market, and you might be able to find an absolute steal. So I'm constantly looking on the trade market every couple of days, even in October, November, December, just to see what might be popping up. So it's an all year round aspect, and that's where I get spend so much more time doing this compared to NRL or Supercoach fantasies.
Yeah, I've thought that as well. Like, you can rank your packs and show off your packs in the Discord chat, which is a great thing. And I would put up a thing, and like I'd have 6 people like messaging me on, "Oh, what do you want for your Diamond Ruben Garrick?" And that everyone just wants those cards, and I thought it was crazy. I've got like 6 people just messaging me, "What's going on?"
Yeah, and, if you've still got them, we can talk after.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like, guys. It's just there's certain cards that appeal to different people, and they could be sold for a dollar value or traded. It's whatever you choose to do. So yeah, it's just a different aspect of playing fantasy that we're not used to dealing with in Supercoach or NRL fantasy. And we don't have the cap to deal with to sell players and buy players at the same time, or a limited amount of trades. Dozer did mention that it's unlimited and a roll and lockout every week. So you don't have to worry about having your 30, 35, 40 trades, whatever it's going to be. You don't have to make 2 or 3 a week. You can just change your full squad in and out every week if you wanted to.
And you don't have to worry about who's the cheapies, who's on the horizon. It's just you got that card, you can play him that week. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So a lot of people probably aren't going to take a Cleary out of their team all year, but you got to play your matchups.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. So what I was going to also touch on is with the season still 10 days away, we're not going to go into each individual matchup. We're going to be coming back next week for another show. Just off the top of your head, man, if you would want 3 to 5 players at every position, which players would you be looking through to go out to the trade market if you don't have their pack, you haven't received their starter card or purchased that card yet? Which one would you be looking for each position?
Well, at hooker, you can't go past Harry Grant. He's the best hooker in the game by a country mile. Reed Marnie, just for those kicking, he likes to kick out a hooker. I think he can get those kicking meters points, which is a big thing in this, which I've never really come across in Supercoach, but interesting to see. I'm a bit worried about his missed tackles, like we spoke on earlier. And I think Brayley at the Sharks, he could set up AFB for a few tries and be a sneaky pod in a few games. In the mids, I think you just got your chalk and cheese. You got your Haas, Tino, AFB, Yo, and May. You might want to try to chase a pod, but I think they're pretty cut. But Connor Watson's a mid, which is surprising. I think he could be in for a big year.
What do you think of Hopgood?
What's that?
What do you think of Hopgood?
Oh, Hopgood, yeah. So I forgot about him. He's been sort of bad injured. He hasn't been in a trial, so he's sort of gone under my radar a little bit actually. Also forgot he's a mid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so he's someone I'm keeping an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. He's someone he's got the offloads, he's got the tackle bus, and he doesn't mind scoring on a trial, setting them up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
On the edge.
Yeah, the edges. Yeah.
On the edge, I've got Fafita. Well, with Cameron Murray, Keon Matangi, if he goes to lock, I think he's in for a big season. He'd be a good card to get. Eli Katoa can do anything on his day. Hines seems to be pretty confident, so I think next to Nickera could be in for a big year. He had a big year 2 years ago. I'm not sure how it came across in fantasy, but I think he could be for a big year. And Ola Kawatu at Manly, I think he's one of the most damaging ball runners in his game. Angus is there, but I don't really think the Roosters are going to go that great this year. He's good, but he's going to miss Luke Keary too much. I think the other guys have got the higher ceilings. The halves, Hughes, DCE, Hines, Dean, Cleary. You just got your stock standard ones there. Brown, Dylan Brown. My pod is Metcalf. I think he's a breakout season. He's going to be massive.
I like what I saw of him the preseason games, man. Like he's already kept a couple of 40-20s, and
he made them look so easy.
Yeah,
so you get kick meters for that as well as a 40-20. Kicks goals, makes tackles. Yeah, I think he's a must-have. And if you're going to chase him for a diamond, he went for $20 the other day. I'm spewing. I missed it. I would have been all over that like a rash.
Yeah, it's certain players like that are fine outside of the big names after playing for a wee while. Is they're real pods because they're very, very risky options. It depends which way you want to play. If you want to just go for the weekly prizes or if you want to go for the overall prizes. But Luke Metcalf, he's got some real sneaky upside this year.
Definitely, yeah. I think he definitely. I don't see the Warriors going too crash hot, but if the main focus will be around him, so I think he'll be scoring a lot of points anyway. I do like what you said earlier about Cobbo, but if we're moving on to the centres, I think he's in for a huge year on the wing. I think Madge will stick a rocket up his ass. Kale Hero, he's a sneaky one, loves the work, decided he could find the trial at the end of the season, so I think he could improve his average. Herbie Fines, he's just a beast. Like I said earlier, he's just a freak. The wingers, you got. I reckon I like Greg Marzu. I don't know why. My gut's telling me him. He's a beast. Loves to break tackles. Loves to have hit ups. He's missed tackles and he's not a very defensively sound winger. That's a worry. Carraz is injured, but I think he's one to have. Asako Lomax, just goal kickers, and they just love to have hit ups. And then Brian Toto is just Brian Toto. He does whatever he wants.
And how do you think Lomax will go? How do you think Lomax will go at the Eels, man?
I don't think he's going to change. Like, I think he knows that he can just have hit up after hit up, and it won't really matter. I don't think it'll change too much. It's outside of Lomax, outside of Moses. Sorry, I think he's in for a big year, but I wouldn't say he goes any better or worse at centre personally. And Mulatalo is my pod.
I think he'd be playing in a better backline on paper. So he might have some more upside through more points maybe. But like you said, I think it'll be pretty much as we saw from last year that got him into the Blues squad.
Well, he scored 14 tries last year on the wing, and Valentine's Holmes was the leading try scorer for centers with 14. So I don't know if he has a better back line, but I feel he was also the main focal point in the Dragons team. So
Yeah.
I just think he'll be about the same. He's definitely a player you want to have. He can do some high scores. There's no doubt about that. Eagles, I
Hopefully
think,
we
are
see
in for a
Holmes
big
get
year.
14 tries for my boys this year.
What's-
Hopefully we see Holmes get 14 tries for my boys this year.
yeah, that'd be handy for you, blokes. I think he's in for a big year. Everyone always, new team. You want to impress. I think if he can hold on to the ball, that's his biggest problem. Yeah, but Mulatalo on that left edge, I reckon Sharks big year. He can turn it on, but he's a risky play because he can get you a 9 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the fullbacks, because I think that's a big thing. I reckon there's like 5 or 6 that you got to pick one of them each week if you want to have a chance. And they're your Pongers, Walsh, Latrell, who is under an injury cloud today, and Turbo, Drinkwater, Edwards. They're just Pappy, yes. If he goal kicked, wouldn't he be something else? He burst on the scene, super coach wise, when he goal kicked. Nick Meaney, just go somewhere else for
Yeah, actually, Meaney's in the centres, so he's a sneaky outside centres. So
yeah, well, the Storm have a pretty rough draw to start off with. I'm pretty sure they go like Eels by Panthers, and then anyone Storm after that you're probably looking at. But yeah, I'll wait for them, but they're going to fire as always. Probably win first place, minor premier. But yeah, no, you just got to play matchup with fullbacks because they can just be so devastating. But it's just trying to pick the right one. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, you do have the luxury. I know in other platforms you might get to choose 2 or 3. We've got the 1 fullback spot, but we do have the 2 bench back spots, and they can be filled by a combination of 2 wings, 2 centres, 2 fullbacks, or 1 of each. So you can actually run 3 fullbacks on any given week. So that gives you the opportunity to. That gives you the opportunity to bring in the likes of
points right
Ponga,
there.
Latrell, and Turbo, for example.
Look at that. If that doesn't want you to get across and have a crack at this, then you're not going to come across, are you? Getting to pick 3 new fullbacks every week to win prize money every week. That just seems like a no-brainer in my eyes.
So we will just finish up shortly, but I just wanted to go through one other thing that you hit me up earlier on today about. You did mention what do you look for when picking a player, because you do get to pick from the whole player base, which is getting on 500 players every week. Yes, there might be the next man up players, but when it comes to choosing between the 5 best mids to fit into 3 positions or the 5 best halves to fit into 2 positions, how to choose between these players was all dependent on matchup when it comes to backs for me. I use the same example against Tigers last year. Cleary could have come up against them and got 5 tries this, or Cherry Evans might have and scored a double himself. Cherry Evans may have been goal kicking if Garrick wasn't in the team. So there's all these different factors to look at each and every week. Take the weather into consideration. Yes, will I play the high rarity in fullbacks when it's a monsoon in Sydney? Probably not. I'll probably load up on middle forwards and hookers or somewhere in that area if I'm going to be playing players in those sort of matchups. And when it comes to forwards, we did touch on it earlier. The missed tackles is negative 3 points. And there are certain players out there, I'm going to pick on Marnie again, that does fall off. He's great at making that first up contact, but quite often that just slows down the player and his other forwards come around. But that hits him hard for a missed tackle. And it's just a coach's worst nightmare in the fantasy space. So I like to try and avoid missed tackles in certain positions. But when it comes to middle forwards, high PPMs like the likes of Haas, Yo, May, I'm a big fan of that man. He's a mini Haas for me. Big man, should be able to play big minutes at nearly 1 point per minute. And you do have the likes of Connor Watson that is in that utility hybrid role, really. Who knows what that utility spot's going to look like at the Roosters? Will Cheese be there in 14? I'm not too sure, but we could be seeing an 18-minute hooker performance that from Watson that he could be running a lot more than more hookers because that's what he tends to do. So that's just how I like to look at building a squad each week, really.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for the insight. Really, I can't wait to pick my first team.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to go through tonight before we finish up?
Pretty much covered it all. Pretty good all bases covered. Really, just waiting for next week and finally getting to pick a team. Just like a kid on Christmas, I am for TLT.
Yeah. Brig on Vegas, I can't wait. So, I think it's a good showcase game for the sport, having the Panthers and Sharks over there. Warriors and Raiders, they might not be in for the best year, but a great spectacle for rugby league.
That'll be exciting. That'll be exciting.
I think that one, if my memory serves me correctly, it was quite high scoring last year in one, if not both of the fixtures. So I remember the Seagulls got off to a flying start, and Garrick and Turbo carved up and I think they played Garrick, if my memory serves me correctly, last year, round one. So, might be looking at Vegas for a few players this year.
Yeah, nice. They reckon it'll be fast flowing. Ref will probably keep the whistle out of his mouth, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck on the transfer market, getting those players that you want over the next week. And
thanks, mate.
You too. And we'll see everyone next week.
And good luck with the pack openings for anyone that jumps across. Hopefully, he's pull a legend.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Catch you later.
Thanks, guys.